This week on Country Music Junkies, we have a new artist to introduce you to. His name is Brandon Rhyder, and we have him on the phone all the way in Texas. Brandon, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I want to talk, obviously, about your 8th album, That's Just Me. So let's definitely save some time to chat about that. But I want to kind of take our listeners back to the beginning. Obviously, if this is your 8th album, you have been around in the music scene for a long time. You have a bunch of number ones. Can you kind of take us back to the beginning and where this all began for you?
Yeah, a crazy little dream. Back at, I guess about 2001, I decided that I wanted to chase this music bug. I had lived in Texas, but not anywhere close to Austin, Texas, which is, pretty much, they call it the live capital music of the world. I'm not sure of that, but there's a lot of musicians and a lot of opportunity as far as being able to play different places. And so that's basically what we did. But we went and put together a project. We went out there. We started trying to tour on it. Back in the early 2000s, there wasn't as many bands, it seems, as there are now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus, the Texas red dirt scene was kind of, it was shaping up and it was taking off. But there again, there wasn't a ton of people involved in the scene, and so it kind of gave us a springboard to get out there on it and start putting out records. I know that a lot of people today, when they think about artists, 20, 30 years ago, they made money off of selling their records. Well, when we started, it was pretty much just trying to get a fan base going and get the record out there, to put another record out there, to be able to get into another venue. And that's basically the way that it's worked. We've been touring nonstop for years and years.
That's awesome, though. That's a very cool story. And now, for fans who aren't necessarily familiar with your sound and the Texas country red dirt scene that you were talking about, can you kind of expand on that a little bit and what fans can expect to hear from your music?
Well, I've always said that, I have country roots, but I love all genres of music, and then I never write for a specific genre. And I think that in itself kind of says what Texas red dirt, it's Americana, it's folk, it's country, it's rock, it's pop. It's all of those things kind of together that allow us to go in these different directions and have bands that come out that have success that sound completely different from each other, instead of maybe all sounding like we kind of fit in the box.
Absolutely.
We all sound like there is no box, and so I really dig that, and I think that's been a big part to the scene and its growth. And now you're seeing guys that have had major success, national and worldwide success that have started out down here and done the same kind of thing. It's just seems to really be taking off in this day and age.
Absolutely. Now, let's chat about your album, That's Just Me, and the title track to that album. You have a video out for that. Can we get your kind of feedback on the writing process for that album and what we can expect to hear on it?
Well, That's Just Me is kind of a record come full circle. It was the first time that I felt confident going out there and being a part of the actual production side.
Right.
And that's something that it has taken me a while to feel confident about. And so that was a different part of it. Matt Powell, a longtime friend, and the guitarist, was a part of this thing with me as well. When you're out there on the road and you're playing all these shows, then you kind of come to understand what you're looking for and what sound you're going after. And so I think that had a lot to do with the way that this record sounds. And, there are songs on this record, That's Just Me, for example. I wrote that song almost 10 years ago. It had never found its way onto the record for some reason. And then I happened to play it one night for a bunch of buddies, and they asked me why it wasn't on the record. And I said I have no excuse, and next thing you know, it ends up on this record, and it ends up being the title track. And really, it's kind of odd, but it really explains exactly where I'm at in my life right now. I've got a beautiful wife and 2 young children. We've got a 6-year-old girl and an 8-year-old boy, and that's where our primary focus is. And the unconditional love of my life, and I feel really confident and comfortable in my shoes, so to speak, and we just keep working. That's the thing, is keep putting out records and keep sight of what's important to us, and that's obviously our family and our faith, and raising these kids.
For sure. That's great. That's a great story. And fans, be sure to check it out. You can visit Brandon's website, brandonrhyder.com. And if fans want to connect with you on social media, can they do that as well?
Absolutely. If you go to brandonrhyder.com, from there you can navigate through all of our social media sites really easily, and go check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, any of those things. So yeah, go to brandonrhyder.com.
Awesome. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for chatting with us today. Really appreciate it. And best of luck with That's Just Me.
Thank you so much for your time.